Okay, let's resume where we left off last time. I think we were talking to some of the ladies of this establishment, and we covered maybe 5 or 6 of them, I think. And let's go through the circle, and we'll cover the rest of the rooms. So we talked to Marisa last time. She's looking for her veil. And we are also looking for Dolora Scent. I think her name was Dolora. Where is she? She was here earlier. Yeah, Dolora, that's her name. So let's go to this room now. Ignis is rushing forward. This is an empty looking room. Oh, there's a hidden wall door here. Wonder what that's for. And it does not have a description like other chambers. Try to open this. Oh, okay. Let's visit it a bit later. Let's talk to the rest of the ladies first. Okay, open. Go in. Oh, wow. Look at this room. Vivian's chambers. Oh, Vivian is the one who is here. Not purely by choice. I think her family recommended her to join this place so that she can eventually join the Society of Sensation. Since this is one of the preferred paths to join that, especially if you are a woman. Let's check the containers. We have some earrings. We've been getting a handkerchief from almost every room now. Alright.
Done.
Subject behavior. Playing a game with human male. Echo's chambers. I don't think we have spoken to Echo yet. Where is Echo?
Might as well.
Yeah, stealing everyone's money. Hopefully it doesn't have a negative repercussion in the later play, any of the later segments in the game. We've been doing a lot of looting. There is Nenny Nine Eyes. So Nenny, someone has described Nenny's name. I forgot under what context it was described. Let's check the journal quickly to make sure we... Let's search Nenny, see if she comes up. I forgot what people said about her. One of the prostitutes suggested that I asked Nenny if she knows anything about who took Vivian's personal scent. Apparently, Nenny's got a reputation for wandering around and watching what other people are doing. Oh yeah, I remember this. I remember that part. So let's definitely do that. Okay. So let's talk to Nenny.
All right. Endure. Your will be done.
I'm wondering for a second if the frame rate is okay in the recording, because I think no, it should be okay. Okay, don't run away, Nenny. Let's let me talk to you. No, wait. Okay, I think is the game crashing? Yeah, I think my game's crashing. Oh no. Okay, it recovered. This petite, attractive young woman is smiling blissfully and humming to herself. Her wide, pale blue eyes seem to constantly drink in her surrounding as she looks about. Greetings. Smiling young woman curtsies gracefully and looks up to you smiling. Well met, good sir. I'm Nenny, and how are you? Suddenly she notices your scars and places a gloved hand over her mouth. Oh my, you are hurt. She blinks. All over. Mode spins around you, mocking the girl's obviousness. Powers above, Chief. She's right. I've never noticed before. You're covered in scars. They're all old scars. I'm fine. Only slightly. I'll be alright. Paid no mind. I had some questions. They're all scars. They're all old scars. I'm fine. She nods quietly, lowering her hand. I had some questions. She seems to tear her eyes from your scars. Oh, how shameful of me. Don't mind my rude staring. I am named Nenny. She makes a little curtsy, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you to a brothel for slating intellectual lusts. She returns to staring at your body. You have tattoos under those scars too. What's that one? She points to one of your tattoos. That one's looks fascinating. Look at the way the lines of ink. I think that's ink. She squints at the tattoo, then reaches out to touch it. Allow her to touch you. I think that's ink. She traces a finger around the edge of the tattoo. Is it ink? And what a pattern. Look at the way the lines intersect here. She touches the center of the tattoo. That's simply amazing. She poses her lips, frowns in disappointment. I could make it out better if there weren't so many scars. There's nothing to be done about the scars. They're permanent. We even had a mage cure some of our scars. Still we look, this scarred. Oh, I'm sorry. Pokes on me for even mentioning them. She cringes. But I have to, But I have to know. You're absolutely sure you're alright? I'm looking at you and I can't help but believe that you are in some pain. I have amnesia, but that's all. None of the physical variety, really. I'm amnesia, but that's all. Amnesia, Nenny blinks, then brightens. Loss of memory, you are so lucky, she chimes perkily. Everything must be so new to you. There is truth in that, but newness is unwelcome. I care little for it. That's an angle I hadn't considered. Nenny claps her hand delightedly. I'm so pleased I could open your mind to the idea. I've heard that's what being a sensei is all about. Bringing new experience to others. Sensates, oh, they are so dreamy. They believe that you achieve understanding only through experience as much of the multiverse as possible. That you achieve understanding only through experiencing as much of the multiverse as possible. Taste this, listen to that, feel this, look at that. There's so much out there, and it's such a big place that it's difficult to take it all in sometimes. I had some other questions. Please ask. She smiles giddily. What are you doing here? Can you tell me about this place? Trying to find Vivian Sen, Marissa's Crimson Veil. Okay. Can you tell me about this place? Sure I can. The Brothel of Slating Intellectual Lust is a school that was started by Mrs. Far from the Gaze. Prostitutes here, like me, are taught the ins and outs of talking to people, or to help us learn more about ourselves and others. I love it here. It's a non-stop wave of experiences crashing into me, filling my head with fresh new ideas. Okay. Mord mutters to himself. I guess it's good that there's something in there. Filling my head with fresh new ideas. I guess it's good that there is something in there. Okay. He's already judging her by the almost it's not empty. It's like she's a very caring, like straightforward person. She's in too sophisticated, at least at this moment. He hasn't presented any sophistication to her character. So maybe Mort is like silently judging her because she's so warm and like, but not too complex of a person, right? At least I feel that way so far. Add another question, Nenny. Please ask. She smiles giddily. What can you tell me about this place? What are you doing here? I'm talking to you, silly. She giggles and pokes you in the belly. Just like I talk to all the patrons here. All the prostitutes do. That's what Brothel's about. Learning new ways to talk and share experiences and understand other people. Okay, I hate all of the terminology regarding this establishment as like a brothel and these people are prostitutes. But yeah, I guess that's a way to look at it. I had another question, Nenny. I'm trying to find Vivian's scent. Do you know where it might be? Trying to find Marissa's Crimson Veil. Do you know anything about Ravel Puzzle? Let's ask the specific quest-related question at the end and ask about Ravel Puzzle first. No, sorry. That's a great name though, huh? I'll bet she's a really interesting person. Hey, you should ask Wes about her. Wes collects all kinds of stories. So Wes is one of the women that we haven't spoken to yet, because she has, well, we just introduce ourselves to her, but she has a whole list of stories that we can share with her, and she can also possibly share some stories with us. So I'm thinking that's going to be a longer conversation. So we have withheld that conversation so far, but after talking to everyone else, we'll go talk to her. Obviously, I think we are almost at the end of our like circle or our loop here, and we'll enter this room and then we'll go right back here. I think Wes is right here. Okay, so most people don't know about Ravel Puzzle well. Potentially, Wes will give some more context or some more knowledge regarding Ravel Puzzle well. Okay, I'll say I had another question. I'm trying to find Vivian's end. Do you know where it might be? Nenny frowns deeply. What? Oh, I just can't. I can't say anything bad about anyone. I'm just no good at it. It's not bad to point out a thief, Nenny. Oh, but I don't know if she's a thief. Nenny bites her lips and looks at you with pleading eyes, as if she wishes you'd just leave the topic alone. Look, why don't you try and say something not nice about? Why don't you try and say something not nice about her? We can just ask her to say something nice about that person, and since she will mention the person, we'll just know who the thief is, right? But I think the Nameless One is asking to try and say something not nice about her. Just try for once to rat out someone. Not rat out, but basically just say that someone stole something. Oh, alright. Nenny puts her hands on her hips and frowns deeply, almost exaggeratedly. You resist the temptation to laugh. Ooh, I dislike her very, very much. Is that Vivian? I don't know. Wait, Vivian is the one who's... So it's Vivian's scent that we are trying to find, right? The only person I dislike out of this group is probably Vivian. Even the tiefling woman, maybe the tiefling woman is a mystery. She was really aggressive. She was having this really aggressive, grating conversation with us, insulting us at like every turn. But I took it as part of her like her whole thing, right? Everyone has a thing here, right? So I thought this was just her thing here. I didn't take it too seriously. Maybe it was her. I don't know. I really got no idea who it could be. Let's see. You resist temptation to laugh. Ooh, I dislike her very, very much. She paused for a moment, then looks at you out of the corner of her eye as if gauging your reaction. Was that convincing? What did she try to do? Frowns deeply, almost exaggeratedly. She was just giving she was just trying to say something not nice about someone. That was her attempt at it. No, not really. Nenny frowns. I knew I wouldn't be any good at this. She looks up at you depressed. Do you know how hard it is to say bad things about someone? It feels so wrong. Why don't you practice on me, Nenny? I suppose I could try. She looks dubious. You big, mean, nasty brute. She puts her hands on her hips. Meanie. She looks at you. How was that? Put more accent on on brute. You big, mean, nasty brute. Better. Now hit me. Oh my god. Nenny clamps her hands over her mouth, looking shocked. Oh, I couldn't. I mustn't. She blinks. How does one hit somebody anyway? Go ahead. Do it lightly if you have to. Remember, I'm a mean, nasty brute. I deserve it. What's going on here? I think there was a little animation. I missed it because I was staring at the words. Nenny slaps you. You barely feel it. She looks shocked and frightened. She hurt you. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that hurt you? Tell me you're okay. She's so sweet. Don't break character, Nenny. Come on. Show me what you got. You can say something bad. Just let it all out. Oh, damn. I never it. So we can make her feel guilty if we say this. But we'll try to help her. I don't know if we are helping her. I don't know if we are playing a game. But let's just continue this. Don't break character, Nenny. Come on. Show me what you got. You can say something bad. Just let it all out. Nenny draws a tiny frame to its full height, bolts her hand into fists, puts them on her hip, and scrunches up her face in a cute scowl. Oh, damned be you. You deserve that for all the indignities you put me through. Going out late at night, her eyes roam up and down your body, getting into fights and getting all scarred up. What are the kids going to think, Kids? This is cute. Oh, don't you excel at me. I'm like I'm some backlicker looking for your approval. I'm my own woman, and this woman is about to walk out on your life unless I get some solid commitments. Alright, that's enough out of you, Nenny. Calm down. Alright, that's enough out of you, Nenny. Calm down. Don't let go of the anger. I don't want to. This is the second one. Nenny sighs sadly. Phew, that was easier than I thought. No kidding. We got some experience. And I'm sure I'll do better next time. I'm so excited to have learned something new. Thank you. Sure, I have a question now. Please ask. Okay, now can you tell me who stole Vivian's scent? I went through all that trouble, not just to educate you, but because I wanted an answer from you.
Updated my journal.
Maybe. I saw that mean Marissa sneaking out of Vivian's room one night. Now, I'm not saying she took it, but I know Marissa's not a very nice person. And that sure sounds suspicious, huh? I would go ask her about it. Nenny nods at you. Thanks, Nenny. So we did bring it up with Marissa because initially we thought that the tiefling woman, I forgot her name, mentioned that Marissa would have taken it, but she didn't mention it like as a serious comment. She was just teasing us, and she immediately cleared it up in the next sentence, but we missed that second sentence. So we went there and confronted or asked Marissa about it. Marissa had no response. Marissa said she didn't do it or something along those lines. But Marissa did say that she lost something of her own and found something else at her doorsteps, and we assumed that it might have been us. It might have also been the scent. Maybe she snuck into Vivian's room trying to see if Vivian stole the veil, and then somehow, I don't know, took the scent or got attached to the scent somehow. That could be it. Vivian seems like the person who would have stolen something, right? I don't know. I have a thing against Vivian, I guess. Thanks, Nenny. I had another question. I'm trying to find Marissa's Crimson. Oh, we exhausted that other option. I'm trying to find Marissa's Crimson Veil. Do you know where it might be?
Updated my journal.
I'll bet I do. I saw that nasty Kimaxi Addletongue sneaking out of Marissa's room one night. They're both meanies, but Kimaxi is really awful. Anyway, I'll talk to her first. Okay. So this is it's like three people stealing things from each other. Vivian tried to maybe steal the Crimson Veil. I don't know. Maybe. How could it work? Marissa stole scent. Marissa's veil was taken by Kinaxi. Kinaxi didn't have anything stolen. What was her name, by the way? I forgot her name again. Kimaxi. Kimasi. Scholar Kimasi. So Kimasi took the veil from Marissa, possibly. Marissa stole the scent from Vivian. But I presume maybe Vivian would have taken it, but maybe not. Okay, let's go talk to... let's go talk to Vivian after maybe opening this door. Oh, we missing Echo. We haven't found Echo yet. Finam's book. So Finam... Sorry about that. So Finam's book was... sorry about that. Yeah, so Finam's book was misplaced somewhere, or he was missing the book. So I think maybe he visited this brothel at some point and left it here. Maybe someone stole it. Not sure. This is a research journal of a linguist named Finam, so we can take it back there at some when we are out. One of my friends did say that this is a very interesting place to explore. Not just this place, Clerksward in general. And I can see there are a lot of small side quests being interconnected with each other, and we have a bunch of stuff just out of the brothel. There's a bunch of stuff we can do right now, so that's interesting. So we haven't found Echo yet. We have spoken to Kesai. Where is Echo? Did we miss her while we were doing our rounds? Okay, there is Echo. Let's talk to Echo, and then we'll go back to Kimaxi. The striking young woman has a skin color of burnished copper. A translucent white dress, held precariously by golden clasps, is draped carefully over her shapely form. Greetings. The woman nods and smiles briefly. The scent of her hair, sweetly perfumed, fills your nostrils. Okay. Who are you? Can you tell me about this place? Travel puzzle bell. Vivian scent. Marissa's Crimson Veil. Okay. Can you tell me about... Let's ask, who are you, bro? Who are you? She smiles and curtsies, but offers no response. Can you speak? She shakes her head and smiles sadly at you. Oh, she can't speak. I love this chit already. Can you write then, or pantomime? She pouts, shaking her head. Oh, may I ask why you can't communicate? That's, Okay, let's ask. She sighs softly and nods. Actually, let me ask you about something else. Can you tell me about this place? She looks at you, raises an eyebrow. Do you know anything about Ravel Puzzle well? Her eyes flash and she smiles. She nods at you. What? What do you know of her?
Updated my journal.
She simply looks at you. Okay, so I think we had a... I don't know if we have it in our inventory. Obviously, the curiosity shop could prove useful. And I also had a friend confirm to me that the curiosity shop items would have beneficial effects. All of them, in one way or other, is just useful or usable at least. Maybe. So, yeah, there was a tongue there which we can use to make anything talk. So maybe that can be useful for her. I don't know if I bought it or not. So something that's something we'll have to check. Actually, let me ask about something else. She knows something about Ravel Puzzle well, which is nice. Vivian sent. She shakes her head, shrugging, and gives you an apologetic look. It's painful to see her not being able to speak. I'm trying to find Marisa's Crimson Veil. Do you know where it might be? She shakes her head, shrugging, and gives you an apologetic look. It's okay. Never mind, actually. Farewell. Right. So, but if we had that item, right? If we actually had that item in our inventory and if it was usable, I think it would have came up in as part of our questioning. So, yeah. It's probably not with her. Fiend's tongue. No, we have it with us. It's a fiend's silvery tongue floating in a jar of brine. It's said that once placed into the mouth of any living thing, it'll give the ability to speak, even if there was none before. God damn it, we have it with us. We can't use it here. Maybe here. Here. No. Oh god. Echo. Is her name somehow significant? Greetings again. Woman nods, smiles briefly. The scent of her hair, sweetly perfumed, fills your nostrils. Yep. May I ask why you can't communicate? She sighs softly and nods. Actually, let me ask about something else. Fiend's tongue seems like a kind of a... I don't know if gross is the right word, but it's not something that we would be presenting to a lady as such, right? Maybe we can talk to Far From Grace about it. Maybe Far From Grace would give us an option to give Echo the Fiend's tongue, maybe in a more presentable way. Okay, so let's talk to Kimaxi. Let's try to finish this trifecta of quests, like Vivian's, Marisa's, and possibly involving Kimaxi too. Oh, it's you again. Just can't get enough of me, huh? She looks annoyed. Fine, whatever, ask. What can you tell me about the silent prostitute? Oh, okay. We have an option to ask about Echo now. I was told you were seen sneaking away from Marisa's chambers recently. Is that connected with her missing veil somehow? I'm trying to find Marisa's crimson veil. Do you know where it might be? She smirked. Up your ass, perhaps. Else, I don't know. Kimasi smooths her hair, which instantly springs back up into a spiky mess. Let's ask about the prostitute first, because if she shuts up after we confront her, we might not get this response, right?
Updated my journal.
What? That echo shit? Don't know anything about her. Don't talk to the girl. I mean, why? Not like she can talk back. Ask Frigid Dolora about her. I think I saw her playing Go with an old crush of Echoes back from when she could talk. I think I saw her playing Go with an old crush of Echoes back from when she could talk. Interesting. More people are getting involved in this little chain of side quests or incidents that we are investigating now. Okay. I was told you were sneaking away from Marisa's chambers recently. Is that connected with the missing veil somehow? Kimaxi flies into rage. Who told you that? She suddenly starts violent, glaring at you through narrowed eyes. If I was there, Berg, I didn't take her filthy veil. Search my room if you'd like. I catch you sniffing at my breeches, though. I'll see to it you are never allowed in here again. Why would anyone ever sniff at your breeches?
Updated my journal.
Beats me. Someone nicked more than a few pair of them, though my favorite leather brassiere too, with iron studs. She hums angrily. Is everyone stealing everything else from everyone else? And another question. Okay, this is getting way too complex for us to keep in our head, and we haven't spoken to ES yet, which puts us at a disadvantage of having known everyone. So maybe we should get the conversation with Wes over. Let's talk to Marissa again, though. So far, no one has directly. I don't know why. I always keep missing the most basic words that I should be using. No one is not convicting, right? Accusing, yeah. No one is so far. No one has directly accused or suggested that Vivian has done something nasty. But yeah, she's one person who is involved in all of this. Let's talk to Marissa again. Wow, Marissa left. No, she's here. Okay. Marissa's cold, cruel voice hisses from out the darkness. It returns. If you have a reason for coming this time, I trust. Or just more of your pointless questions. More pointless questions, Marissa. What can you tell me about the silent prostitute? Yes, Echo. I know another Echo once. I knew another Echo once, though her name was written differently. I know nothing of this girl, though. Ask Dollara of her. She made a friend of an old lover of Echoes, I've heard. Oh, God. Was Oliver seen sneaking away from Vivian's chambers recently? Is that connected to the missing scent somehow?
Updated my journal.
Marissa says nothing, though an angry hissing issue from the darkness around her. Yes, I've been known to creep into Vivian's chambers for some of her perfumes, though I doubt you will meet another here who hasn't. If you're implying that I got her special scent, well, feel free to sniff around. You'll not find it on me or my chambers, I assure you. Perhaps whoever took the Crimson Veil took Vivian's scent as well. It's very difficult to point at anyone confidently and say that they have done something wrong. Or even, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out in the end. Alright, let's back out again. Maybe let's talk to Dollara. Who was walking in here? Nenny. Let's talk to Nenny about Echo. Well met, good sir. I'm Nenny, and how are you this fine day? Oh, we have met before. Nenny giggles and smiles gleefully. I'm sorry, I knew you looked familiar though. She's the sweetest and most, I don't know, I like her. Please ask. Kimaxi said someone's been taking things from her room too. Have you seen anything odd?
Updated my journal.
Nenny's eyes suddenly go wide. Oh, that's right. You know, once I saw a man sneaking out of Kimaxi's room while she was out talking to a patron. I watched the front doors all that day, but he never ever left. Isn't that odd? I don't think he could have made it out of window, and so I never figured out where he went. And then I totally forgot about it. Weird, huh? That is weird and interesting. Can you tell me about the silent prostitute? Just call her Echo. Oh, because she has never mentioned her name is Echo. So we can't we can't know that her name is Echo unless someone already told us. I guess Kimaxi already told us, but we couldn't know her name is Echo otherwise, right? That's why we have to ask it in this way. Oh, Echo. Yeah, she's a mysterious one, isn't she? Do you know that she never speaks? Truly, Nenny leans in and lowers her voice. I think she was emotionally wounded so badly that she never speak again. I bet Dollara knows because she sometimes talks to the last lover Echo had when she still spoke. This is going to be painful. This is going to be painful. You already talked to Kimaxi? Talk to Dollara again. Dollora's eyes flash as he sees you. Did you find him? Has he agreed to return the keys to my heart? No, not yet. Oh god, she's blocked out forever now. I want to talk to you about Echo's lover, and you're not speaking to me now. That's such an annoyance. I don't know why we can't speak to her. Alright, everyone wait outside. I want to actually don't come inside because we had an option to talk to her about other companions or the stories of other companions. So you should probably stay beside us, beside me. Wes smiles pleasantly. Greetings again. Have you come to trade tales? No, I had some questions though. Yes. Sorry. Yes, nods quietly. Why are you called the tail chaser? Once upon a time, a girl came to an oracle who was rumored to know many things and asked of it a boon. Her life was in need of direction, so she asked this oracle as to what would give her purpose. Go on. Now, the oracle was not evil, but it was vague and tended towards drink, which caused it to be obscure in many matters of judgment and focus. It only answers to the girl's question, and was within one story. And question, its only answer to the girl's question was that within one story that she would hear in her lifetime was the truth that she sought. The girl went off and collected stories, which she chases to this day, not knowing which of the thousands hold the truth. Such is the danger of a foolish question and the wisdom of an unspoken one. Danger of a foolish question and the wisdom of an unspoken one. I guess we have to be very specific when asking questions, especially if the questions are like very effectual in nature, or like if it's a high stakes question, be very careful and be very specific. If not, just don't speak until you can refine your question. I guess that's the moral. And I don't know if she's just telling a story or if... Yeah, she's telling it as a story. We can presume this is possibly her story, right? And another question. What are you doing here? I collect tales and trade them with others who have tales of their own. And another question though. Can you tell me about this place? By the way, let's back out and reduce the music a little bit. I can't hear myself think. This is a very nice music though, but I think it's gone on far enough. Alright. No, but I had some questions. Okay, alright. Can you tell me about this place? This is a part of Mrs. Grace's story, that is part of Mrs. Grace's story, which is not mine to tell. She has said that when she nears the end of her years, she shall tell me, and only if I pledge never to share it with another. Oh, so there is more to her story. She wouldn't have told us her entire story, like just since we just met, right? Maybe at some point we can coax it out of her, because even to Wes, she has promised to tell only when she's nearing the end of her life. So that's cool. She hopes that she will never need to tell me her tale, for she hopes I'll find my own story before the time and leave this place. I think she fears my life will be squandered in searching for this tale and not acting upon what I already know. Wes sighs softly, but it cannot be helped. Cannot be helped? Do you think so? So she's intending to become a sensate. She's here for her own little quest. Her life's quest. Your own story. Once upon a time, a girl came to an... Yeah, I think it's the same thing. I had another question. Wes, you look familiar. Is your mother named Vana? Is that the woman who's running the... That should be the woman who's running the museum, right? Yes, notes. Yes. But she and I no longer speak. Just as I shall speak no more of her. Why though? I want to go and talk to Vana now about her. God damn it, game. Maybe trade tales. What can you tell me about a silent prostitute? Echo? Wes frowns, thinking. I once heard a tale of a girl who knew the word that if spoken would undo the multiverse. Perhaps this is Echo. Ask Dollara though. I understand that she sometimes meets with one who knew Echo before she stopped speaking. Okay. I'm trying to find Vivian's scent. Do you know where it might be? She seems like the she seems like the last person to wander out of her room, because she just sits here, collects tales from a new set of people, and then shares it to the different set of people, right? Maybe she walks around while doing that, but it feels like she might not know anything about this. Wes shakes her head. Speak with Nenny. She's forever pacing about, observing everything intently. Yeah, you've spoken with her. Yeah, I think that's correct. I'm trying to find Marissa's Crimson Veil. Do you know where it might be? But Marissa is an interesting tale. Would you hear it? Yeah, go ahead. Once upon a time in a world of heroes and a time of petty childish gods, there were three sisters. Cursed with a hideous appearance, they were considered demons by the people of the land and forever shunned. One missed her sisters terribly, yet left that world with its shame behind, but exchanged the pettiness of a pantheon for the pettiness of self. Wait, what does that mean? One missed her sisters terribly, yet left that world with its shame behind, but exchanged the pettiness of a pantheon for the pettiness of self. I don't know what that really means. Oh, okay. One missed her sisters terribly, yet left that world with its shame behind, but exchanged the pettiness of a pantheon for the pettiness of self. She is talking about the missing sister, or the sister who left that world is Marissa. But I don't know what the pettiness of a pantheon and pettiness of self would mean specifically. Can't really see what that means. You look familiar. Maybe trade tales. Silent prostitute echo. We don't know. Vivian Scent. We don't know. Marissa's Crimson Veil. We don't know. But she did speak about Marissa's little history. You know anything about Ravel Puzzle? She should know about Ravel Puzzle. The tale of Ravel Puzzle, Frightener of Children, begins and ends with the question: what can change the nature of a man? Yeah, we know this. I think it was Lothar who first told us about this question, which became the obsession, which was the obsession of Ravel Puzzle. She used to pose questions to different people. She always she was obsessed with questions in general. She was excited by them, but there was this one question that she could not find an answer to, and that is this question: what can change the nature of a man? Go on. Many were the times she posed this riddle to those who approached her, those who sought to glean from her the strange magics that she alone seemed to possess. All attempts to answer her query, but to no avail. And they found the price of their wrong answers to be some horrible fate, always more terrible than last victims. To recount their various torments would be to speak of things that nightmares are woven from. Go on. The tale strikes me in this way. Ravel herself knew not the answer to this question, but she lusted for such an answer. Only the why of the matter remained in question. Why did the nature of a man matter to one of the Grey sisters, especially to one of such power as Ravel? That is an interesting question. Why did she obsess over it? The answer to the question is one thing, but the fact that she obsessed over this particular question is another. That is more interesting, I think, than the actual question. Go on. It is said that she put the question to the Lady of Pain, not directly, but shouted it to Sigil itself, daring for the lady to answer. When no reply was forthcoming, she wove terrible magics that threatened to open the cage and let the fury of the plains roll in like a wave. Go on. She received no answer other than banishment. To this day, no one knows the answer to Ravel's question, and now there is no one to petition, for Ravel herself is gone. Goes to the plains. That is quite a nice tale. Wait, there is more. Okay. I had another question. She's like, wait, there is more. Though my tale ends with Ravel's demise, there are some that claim that the hag still lives. Oh, she lives. I'm sure she lives. I'm sure we'll meet her. At least I hope so. There is a silent prostitute here who once talked of such things, but she speaks no longer. If she would speak to you, she might tell you more of Ravel. Wow. Okay. We need to get Echo to talk. This is getting way too involved. She would, and we are getting invested too, to the same degree. The more involved this gets, usually we just kind of get burned out, right? Because it's just a side quest with a bunch of characters taking things from each other, not too interesting. But suddenly, Travel Puzzle Well gets thrown to the equation, and more interesting details come out, and suddenly we are just immediately invested. Wait, there is more. Yeah, if she. Though my tale ends with Ravel's demise, there are some that claim that the hag still lives. There is a silent prostitute here who once talked to such things, but she speaks no longer. If she would speak to you, she might tell you more of Ravel. What else can you tell me of this silent prostitute? Echo, I once heard a tale of tale of a girl who knew the word that if spoken would undo the multiverse. Perhaps that is Echo. This is Echo. God damn it. Another question. Show more? Yeah. So Ravel Puzzle was our last option to ask. Now, let's back out, make a quick save, and then trade tails with her. Yes, I have. I would like that very much, yes. Okay. Ask one of your companions if they have a story to tell. Actually, let me ask you a question. You will tell me some tales. I guess with the other answers, she did provide us some tales. So she's kind of played her part of the trade. Now we have to make it up. Tell her the story of you waking up in the mortuary. Wes leans forward as you tell the tale of your awakening in the Desmond's mortuary. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale. I too will tell a tale. I too will tell a tale of the Dustman. Chapters of Dust. Okay, she is going to reply us with the tale every time, maybe. Go on. There are chapters in the Dead Book, the massive tome which the dead men keep, that records the passing of all the lives into the eternal boundary. In this book, there are chapters that are naught but dust. And it is believed that the names therein are lost souls who cannot die, but must suffer life eternally until history itself dies and grants them release. So the Dead Book has been referenced so many times, not as a very unique thing, but just as a normal terminology that people use here, right? They'll put you in the Dead Book. You'll be in the Dead Book. All the time they use that word, right? So Dead Book is something that's commonly known to everyone in Sigil. But yeah, it's a real book that the Dustman keeps, and apparently there are chapters in there that are not but dust. Wow. I don't know how a book will hold dusty chapters. I guess maybe it's just dusty in texture. I don't know how else a chapter could be dusty. I guess maybe there's nothing written there, but yeah. So there are lost souls who cannot die. Okay. That first option is gone. Okay. Hopefully our journal is updated with all of these things, because these are very interesting tales that she's saying. Tell her the story of Alley of Lingering Sighs. Wes leans forward as you tell the tale of the alley giving birth. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember the tale. And now, I have one for you. Before I begin, I must ask, do you know what a Modron is? I've seen them around. I think Mort mentioned that they are partly biological and partly mechanical, partly organic and partly mechanical. But did he say anything more about where they come from? I don't think so. I don't remember it. Yes. Yeah, I don't remember it at least. So let's say no. Modrons are oh yeah, total low. Okay, almost more machinery than living things. There are many different sorts of Modron, but all have their place in a very rigid, carefully organized hierarchy. So dedicated are they to the system that they cannot communicate with or even consider the existence of Modrons who are not their immediate superiors or inferiors. So dedicated are they to the system that they cannot communicate with or even consider the existence of Modrons who are not their immediate superiors or inferiors. Interesting. Yeah, we did talk to one of the Modrons, and they did they did mention the model that they belong to, and also the superior model that they obey. It was a Pentadron, and it was under the Pentadron's command, or it was an order from the Pentadron to command Survey Dolora and her actions. Right, that's what they're doing. They don't really have any other incentive to do it other than just it's an order. That's all that they know. That's all that they care for. I understand now. Then I shall tell you the tale of the clock and the quadron. Con. Once upon a time, there existed a modron. It was newly created, its logic fresh and untested, and had come to Sigil following the commands of its modron superiors. Of course it did. Go on. It knew nothing but commands and dictates of obedience and passing along the orders of its superiors. For you see, modrons are only aware of the commands of their immediate superiors. They have no grasp of a higher authority until this one. They have no grasp of a higher authority until this one. They are like so mechanical and yeah, this is like so much. This is a very clean interpretation of what like a pure intelligent being would be. Doesn't need to have any other incentive than just some trigger to follow through, you know. And it could be anything. And for them, it's their immediate superiors. Anything else doesn't even make sense to them. Like any other sort of like hierarchy makes sense to them, but any other form of relationship probably doesn't really mean anything to them. Yeah. All right. Go on. One day it came upon a small shop within which there was a small clock that could no longer tell time. It was cracked along the edges, wheels of its hands broken. The modron immediately set itself to work at getting the parts to fix the broken clock. Why would it do that? Was it one of its orders? Because it shouldn't be doing that unless it's one of its orders. It made a new wooden housing for the clock's parts, replaced the bent springs, carefully filed and oiled the clockwork machinery, and carved new hands from sparse metals available to it. The newly repaired clock's precise ticking reminded it of the great gears of Mechanus, and it comforted it as much as anything may comfort a modron. Go on. Where did we start this tale though? We were talking about alley of lingering sighs and about the birthing of the alley. That is what triggered this response. So it is somehow related. I would presume there's some tenuous connection at least to that initial birthing of the alley. So let's see if we can find that connection or if it even exists. And what the modron never came to understand was that it truly loved this clock that it had worked on, and for some reasons it could not explain, elected to remain in Sigil and be with the clock for the rest of its years. That's the end of the story? Oh, god damn it. Okay. Is it just an unrelated response? I'm seriously doubting if there is a connection to the birthing of the alley. Birthing of the alley is obviously was a huge thing. Like it opened up new areas for us to explore. At least in lore, like in the story, that's what triggered us to. That's what allowed us to explore more of the Clerk's Ward and the Lower Ward. And yeah, it was obviously very interesting incident. It even had a cutscene. I think it had a cutscene, like a CGI cutscene. Though I'm not too sure. I don't remember exactly now. So what the alley was doing there, maybe there was some, other than just being like a novel thing that the city does, there's maybe some higher consequence to that we'll find later. Don't know. I have another tale to share with you. Tell the story of Dream Builder. We don't really know the story of Dream Builder though. Tell the story of Requin's curse. Okay. West leans forward as you tell the tale of Requin's odiferous curse. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember the tale, and now I have one for you. The Gilded Tale. Go on. Upon the plains of Yescard, in the Gilded Hall, where those sensate that seeks the pleasure of gullet and loin can be found. I don't know what a gullet means. It's probably going to end up bad, so let me not read it out loud. Let me check what a gullet means. Just like your throat, the passage between pharynx and the stomach. Esophagus. Okay, alright. Upon plains of Isgard in Gilded Hall, where those sensate that seek the pleasure of gullet and loin can be found, they indulge these passions in earnest, never realizing that the doors of the They indulge these passions in earnest, never realizing that the doors of the hall never open and that there is no clear path back to the civic fest hall. Hmm. They are the unwanted sensates, the ones that do not truly believe in the faction but instead seek only pleasure for pleasure's sake. Are prisoners who do not realize they are such truly prisoners? Are prisoners who do not realize they are such truly prisoners? It's such a weird way to write it, or like such a uh, an unpopular way to write it. I'm having a difficulty understanding what exactly a sentence is. Are prisoners who do not realize they are truly such prisoners? They are such truly prisoners. Okay, whatever. At least the point is that I guess they don't really realize that they are imprisoned by their own like pleasure or like whatever it is. They don't really realize it. They're kind of uh, too involved in their activities to even realize that they are some sort of a prisoner in a sense. And maybe even physically they can't return to the civic festival. I don't know. Do they just live there forever and just die there? I don't know. Another tale to share with you. Dream Builder will skip for now. Alley of Dangerous Angles. Yes, Wes leans forward as you tell the tale of Alley of Dangerous Angles and how it came to be. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles. I shall know this tale. I'll have no. Okay. The lady suitor. Go on. Is it the Lady of Pain suitor? The tale concerns a suitor of the Lady of Pain, one of many over the years. He was a young man who was obsessed with the mistress of the sigil. He saw her everywhere, in the corner of her city. In every corner of her city, he would hear the rustling of her robes and scrape of her blades, and grew infatuated beyond all reason. He hoped that if he worshipped her, that he would at last be able to see her, and so worship her he did. Go on. We know that lady doesn't like that. He was found dead on the blood-soaked steps of his own home, grievous stab wounds covering the whole of his body. But his eyes were open wide, and upon his lips was a triumphant smile. Okay, at least he got what he wanted. And this is probably the shadow of the lady falling on him, because it was described as blades slashing through our body, right? And we die. Like that very much. Farod Ignis. Okay, let's talk about Farod. I shall remember this tale, and I have one for you. Go on. Once came a man who had experienced the most beautiful thing in the multiverse. It was his intention to place the experience in one of the Civic Festival's sensory stones, magical devices which held feelings and memories for an eternity, leaving them for others to partake of. Go on. But he thought about it. Wouldn't it be wouldn't its being shared dilute the experience? So he held it to himself, precious thing that it was, and aged with memory. But as he aged, the memory became tarnished and beaten, and he could no longer recall the glory of the experience. Okay. That's a moral tale of the day. Tell the story of Ignis. West leans forward. Yeah. I shall remember this tale. Now I have one for you. The execution. She didn't name this last tale. It was just I have one for you, and then she explained this without a title. Okay. So this one's called the execution. Go on. Once a murderer roamed Sigil streets, a black-hearted man named by the name of Cossack. He had been blessed by his abyssal mother, so that no one could strike him with an intent to harm, or they themselves would die. Okay, so they cannot kill him by intending to harm him. Maybe he will die by accident. Maybe he reveled in his blessing, using it to start fights and murder anyone who crossed his path. Okay. During one of his murderous rages, he was captured by the Harmonium with nets and brought before the governors. The trial was short, final, yet Cossack laughed at the proceedings, knowing that no one among them could harm him without dying horribly. At the final days of his trial, he was proclaimed guilty and sentenced to death. Go on. Cossack's sentence proclaimed by the governors was this: confinement for 33 days, thrice 30 days, thrice 30. That's 90 days, right? I don't know. Is it 33 written a different way? During which time you shall give up your life, be declared dead, and your body removed when all signs of life cease. They'll just put him in confinement and he'll just starve. Isn't there an intent to harm him even then? Go on. The mercy killers led Cossack to their prison and locked him in a dark, empty cell. There was no court, no lights, and the only door was a steel grate in the ceiling. As I lowered him into the cell, the mercy killer told him, in the corner of your cell, you will find a chalice. It holds poison. Your death will be swift. Aren't you going to execute me? Cossack snarled at the guard. No one is ill shall lay a hand on you with intent to harm, came the merciless reply. It's only 33 days he's going to stay there though, right? Then I spit on your cowardice. Cossack laughed, feeling for the chalice in the darkness and hurling it at the wall and shattering it. Its poison dripped from the walls and dried, and it was no more. Come then, you'll have to try and kill me now. Go on. But there was no response from the grate in the ceiling. It was then that the Cossack noticed the cell had no cord, no lights, and no food and water. All that remained was a shattered chalice, the poison gone, and for the first time, Cossack knew the icy touch of death's approach. In 33 days, the grate opened, and the Cossack's body, now cold, was taken out from the cell. It had given up its life, and the execution had been carried out. Okay. Oh, I guess maybe there's a technicality in the sense. No one could strike him with the intent to harm him. So it's just strike him, right? They can do any action without affecting his body directly, and it wouldn't be it wouldn't contribute to, it wouldn't, what's the word again? It wouldn't qualify. That's a word. It wouldn't qualify as something that would be affected by the curse. So, yeah, we could just confine him and let him die. I'm going to try to like stop and think up the right word, because that's one of the biggest issues I have. Like we'll know, I'll know the word. I'll probably know the phrase even, but it won't come in the right time. And since we are going in a flow, we can't like if we are typing it out, it comes a bit more smoothly, and it's something that I'm trying to maybe work on. Maybe one of the main reasons to do this like in a commentary sort of way, so that I can try to like pinpoint like when that happens, like why that happens, maybe try to improve that aspect, because it's a really valuable tool that we can speak our mind without having to dilute the ideas with, you know, improper phrases and verbiage, and like it's, yeah, it'd be nice to just work on that and get a better get in a better state with the just free form communication. Okay, Dream Builder. I'm kind of hesitant to talk about Dream Builder because I haven't invested in this story. I haven't involved myself with the set. We got the quest. It felt like, I don't know, somehow the time when I picked up this quest, I wasn't too invested in it. So I have to go back and revisit this quest again. Let's tell about the Dream Builder. Leans forward as to tell the tale of a man who lost his ability to dream. Okay, this time we actually have a description of the tale that we are telling. Every other tale, I think it was apparent enough that we were at least as a player, I was aware enough that I didn't need a summary of it. But this time I really appreciate the summary. Leans forward as to tell the tale of a man who lost his ability to dream and commissioned the construction of a device that would allow him to dream once more. She seems to devour your every word. Yeah, same thing. I have one for you. The Beekeeper's Tale. Go on. Another interesting thing to maybe note would be, try out would be to just reload the save and then try to ask the questions again and see if every question has the same response answer, like a response tail. If it's not connected at all, then maybe like this is always our fourth response tail or something, you know. Probably that's not the case, but yeah, an interesting thing to just maybe note. Beekeeper's Tale. Okay, go on. Once upon a time, a man came into a field of hives. Upon this field, he heard thousands of bees, but there was not a single bee to be seen. Amongst the hives walked a beekeeper who was extracting the honeycomb from the apparently empty hives. Yet, despite the lack of insects, the drone continued. The man was mystified. Go on. He made to speak with the beekeeper. Who lifted his hood to reveal a creature made entirely of bees. A mouse-shaped depression formed in the mass of insects which made up the thing's face. The depression moved as the creature spoke, but the drone was such that its word could not be understood. The man died at that moment, trying to understand what it was the beekeeper said. The man died at that moment, trying to understand what it was the beekeeper said. Wait, why did he just die? Trying to understand maybe a A blunt drone, a droning voice, right? I didn't quite get that. Ask one of your companions if they have a story to tell. Wes awaits your story patiently. More. Do you have a story to trade? Ignis doesn't speak. I guess we did speak about Ignis. Hey, wait. We have a. We could speak. We could talk about Farod and we could talk about Ignis. Oh, since we didn't give a description, it was just like a generic thing saying that we told the tale of Ignis and she had a response. Okay. Me, why do I have to tell a story? Just tell a story, Mort. Fine, fine. And okay, this is probably going to be funny. An elderly man was sitting alone on a dark path, right? He was in certain. Already the tone is very funny. He was in certain of which direction to go, and he had forgotten both where he was traveling to and who he was. He had sat down for a moment to rest his weary legs and suddenly looked up to see an elderly woman before him. She grinned toothlessly and with a cackle spoke. Now your third wish. What will it be? Oh. Oh damn it. Go on, Mort. Third wish? The man was baffled. How can it be a third wish if I haven't had a first and second wish? Go on, Mort. You had two wishes already, the hag said, but your second wish was for me to return everything to the way it was before you had made your first wish. That's why you remember nothing, because everything is the way it was before you made any wishes. She cackled at the poor Berg. So it is that you have one wish left. What the hell? Go on, that is a stressful situation. We are constantly going to doubt our wish, right? Because whatever wish we had made, and whatever eventual outcome it had, we were forced to revert it back. And if everything was left open, we'd wish the same thing again. But now we have the added context that our first wish failed. So we can maybe think a bit more deliberately and skip our most comfortable wish and maybe choose a second wish. All right, said the man. I don't believe this, but there's no harm in wishing. I wish to know who I am. Funny. That was, said the old woman as she granted his wish and disappeared forever. That was your first wish. Yeah, you have to think a little more. I mean, he's an old man and probably people don't have to think about it like that. So, yeah. An interesting tale more. Now, I have one for you and your companion. The Fiend's Game. Is it just a tale or... Yeah, it's probably just a story that Mort made up. It couldn't be related to him at all, right? An interesting tale, Mort. And now I have one for you and your companion. The Fiend's Game. Go on. A fiend sometimes wandered the wilderness of a certain prime world in the guise of a friendly old man. A fiend sometimes wandered the wilderness of a certain prime world in the guise of a friendly old man. One day he came upon some hunters in the wood. What are you doing? The fiend asked. One day he came upon some hunters in the wood. Sorry. What are you doing? The fiend asked. The hunters told him, and the fiend nodded. I have never been on a hunt before. Go on. The hunters invited the old man to come along, and the group eventually came upon a glade where several deer were grazing. The hunters carried crossbow but did not fire, and the fiend asked them why. Go on. They are unarmed. The hunters chuckled, patting their crossbows. We hunt nothing that... They are unarmed. The hunters chuckled, patting their crossbows. We hunt nothing that does not have the ability to defend itself. After all, where is a sport in that? The fiend nodded at this and promptly gated in 3 of his fellows. The hunters led them on a merry chase, but eventually they were caught and eaten. Gated in means he called in 3 of his fiends and then they hunted the hunters. Is it? Yeah, no, I thought they were going to hunt for food, but they are apparently hunting for sport. But so it's fine that they were caught and eaten, I would say. Another tale share with you. Ask our companions. Anna, do you have a story to trade? She probably is very feisty. I am no good at telling such things. I'm not. She frowns and waves her hand as if trying to shoo away the idea. Don't wanna be asking me for such nonsense now. Wes smiles at Anna, but I would very much like to hear your story. Just tell the story already, Anna. Please share your story, Anna. Please share your story, Anna. Come on already, Fiendling. You already have one tail. You won't... come on already, Fiendling. You already have one tail you won't part with. That's a tail. T-A-I-L tail. Okay, Anna looks uncomfortable. Her tail lashing slowly back and forth. Well, I know one story. Okay, she's very hesitantly going to tell her story. Don't discourage her now, okay? She suddenly becomes angry, glaring at Yes. But yeah, might not like it. You won't. So don't be blaming me for you choking it out of me. That's all right. Just speak your mind. Anna scowls, then finally relents with an exasperated sigh. I had a story when I was a wee lass. This Berg's walking home real late near Andy Peak and passes an old toothless crone in a dark and otherwise empty street. Where are you going? She asks him. Go on, Anna. Home to me, wife and keep, he says. Near the slacks? She asks him. Sure enough, he says. Go on, Anna. So she asks him a favor to take a box she's got to Deader's Pit and give it to the woman there. Now this bug's a real sap. Too nice to say no. Too nice to say no, despite the fact he's sure something not quite right about this old crone, and agrees. But what's the woman's name? He asks. Where does she live? Where should I look for her if she's not by the Deader's Pit? Go on. The woman hands him the box, a wooden thing, wrapped in colored cloth, and tell him to just go and she'll be there. Finally, she warns him, and whatever he does, do not open the box. So he takes it home with him and hides it in the rafters, thinking he'll bring it by Deader's Pit when it's lights out. His wife, though, seeing him hiding the box, gets right jealous, thinking it's a gift for a lover or something, and opens it up as soon as he's not looking. Go on, and I really like the tone in which Anna is saying the story. Obviously, it has to be said in this way because this is how she speaks. But it sounds like such an Anna tale, right? It's a kind of tale that she would have grown up hearing. It's such a nice touch. Go on, Anna. Well, turns out the box was full of... turns out the box was full of gouged out eyes and several severed male members with the hair still on them. Her scream brought the Berk running. He remembered what the crone said, got right scared, and wrapped the box back up. Go on, Anna. He went out straight away to Deader's Pit, and sure enough, there was another old hag waiting there for him. He hands her the box, and she says to him, the box has been opened and looked into. Go on, Anna. The poor Berk tries to deny it, but she gets this dreadful look on her face. You've done something horrible, tells him, and then disappears. That done, he hurries back to his skip. Go on, Anna. He's feeling ill when he gets back and takes to bed. His wife bitterly regretted opening the box and all, but it was too late. The next day, he died of a rotting disease, and the first thing to go was his eyes and stem. Anna notes grimly, her tail complete. That's a wonderful tale, Anna. You should never hesitate to share it. Yeah, exactly. Now I have one for you and your companion, the past land. Oh my god, many people we meet here are so nice. Go on. Once a large village was struck by a terrible drought, and a farmer journeyed to the worshipping stone and implored it. Farmer journeyed to the worshipping stone and again implored it as to the cause of the drought. He asked the stone why it did nothing when the fields were parched and drying, why the animals and people suffered while the stone did not a thing. Have you not given enough offerings? The farmer asked, begging upon his hands and knees. But the stone did not respond. It merely sat and cast its shadow. Oh wait, that's the end of the story. What's the story's name? The Past Land. He asked the stone why it did nothing when the fields were parched and drying, why the animals and people suffered while the stone did not a thing. Have you not given enough offerings? The farmer asked, begging almost upon his hands and knees. But the stone did not respond. It merely sat and cast its shadow. Okay. You should just do your job and irrigate and take care of your animals instead of worshipping a stone. Maybe that's the moral there. Dakon, do you have a story to try? Dakon nods solemnly. I shall import the tale of Charlie drowning. Oh, didn't he speak about this to us at some point? I am really confused about the whole deal with Dakon. I forgot the details of his story. There are so many terms there, and so many difficult to remember terms like Akali and Shaklator and all of those terms. And it's all a complete mess in my mind. And we have to at some point go back and investigate his tomb. And yeah, I think there's a very specific dialogue path that we have to pick to open that tomb. It has been pointed out to me, so when we get time, we'll probably do that at some point. Dakon tells a story of Achali, a foolish Gitsarai of myth who had become lost in the chaos of limbo. Normally, a single Gitsarai may use their focus and mental discipline to form the chaos around them into small habitable environment. Oh, I know what this is. Achali, she lost her focus, right? And then, what was it? The land she created just disappeared, I think. Let's see. Sally, however, asked so many useless and unfocused questions in her quest to return home that her isle of matter dissolved around her and she drowned. Yeah, this is the. I think I even had a comment at that point about asking unfocused questions. I don't know. I don't remember specifically, but I think we did pursue it with Dakon at some point. West smiles. Fascinating, Dakon. Let me share with you and your companion another version of your tale that I've heard. See, she's so nice to everyone. She calls them by name. I think even for Mort, even though Mort's story was... What was Mort's story? Yeah, the first wish, right? Yeah, even though Mort had such a story, I think even at that point she called her... Yeah, an interesting tale, Mort. Yeah, she's such a nice woman. Fascinating, Dakon. Let me share with you and your companions another version of your tale that I've heard. Of course, that's amazing. It's specifically to Dakon it's related, which immediately gives me panic in the sense that we might not have recognized some connection between the responses, the response tales, and the first tale that we told her, the original tale that we told her. Dakon looks attentive, perhaps a little surprised. Yeah. Be focused, Dakon. Go on, Wes. Wes goes on to tell a different version of Dakon's tale, in which Akali was driven from Gitsarai city of Shrakt, yeah, that horrible name there, for her constant useless prattling. One day she encountered a sladdy on his way to the spawning stone. She hastily erected a wall of chaos matter, which even the ravenous laddie found difficult to break down. Hungrily it waited and spoke to her through the wall. She asked it questions, and she became more absorbed in her pointless. Hungrily it waited and spoke to her through the wall. She asked it questions, and she became more absorbed in her pointless queries that the sladdie's answers, her own her own wall decayed and collapsed upon her, and thus she drowned in the matter of limbo. Okay. I think we're done with the companions. So maybe if we get Far From Grace, maybe we'll visit back here with Far From Grace, and maybe we'll get an option to ask about Far From Grace's questions. Sorry, Far From Grace's story.
It wouldn't kill you to say a few words to me, Fiendling. Or hug me. Or kiss me.
Fiendling. Who's he talking to? Is he talking to Anna? I think we'll stop it here. So next time, I don't know how to proceed the story with. Sorry, what? Where are we stuck with the few investigations we have? Marisa's veil, Crimson Veil, and Kimax's garments were stolen. Dolora and Vivian's scent is stolen. Dolora knows. Dolora has been speaking with someone whom Echo spoke to. Echo probably knows more about Ravel Puzzlewell, and Echo cannot speak. I'm hoping that once we debrief with Far From Grace about all these conversations, she will maybe focus us towards some particular objective we can tackle. Because right now it's spread out all of, like, I don't know who to ask what. He probably could go around again and maybe get a few more responses from few of the ladies with the new contacts that we have gained. But yeah, it is going to be a bit tedious to do that, right? So I think we'll debrief with Far From Grace, and then yeah, maybe we'll even visit Curiosity Shop to see if things don't pan out after the conversation with Far From Grace. Maybe we'll even visit Curiosity Shop to see if any of the items there would help. We already have the Fiend's Tongue, but it doesn't seem to be. We don't have an option to talk to Echo about that yet. So maybe it's Far From Grace that we can talk to about it. I don't know. But yeah, I think we'll we'll save our game here and we'll pick it up from here next time.